Hey guys, hope everyone's doing well. Just wanted to jump on the bandwagon of talking about the Flesh and Blood collectability. This is not hockey cards, this is Crucible of War. So essentially what I wanted to do was focus on Crucible of War. It was a time when I joined collecting the game. Prices were skyrocketing. Let me just say a lot of the stuff was not cheap. It's come down significantly since then, but I think it's a very integral set, and from a collectability standpoint, it's probably one of the biggest reasons why I stayed in Flesh and Blood, was just seeing how intense everybody was in the community about loving the game, the collectability of the game, how awesome the cold foils and everything looked. So what I want to do is just give you a little bit of an idea of how I sort and organize my collection. I've seen some really cool videos with some other people with different binder styles, and so I'm going to go through a few of the things here. I'm going to start kind of backwards and give you kind of the unlimited version, then we'll get into first edition. But essentially I've got this the 3-ring binder. This is what I put my rainbow foils and my regular non-foils of the commons and the rares. So hopefully you can see it okay here, but I've just kind of got like the heroes, and then whenever there's a rainbow foil version, I actually put the foil on one side and the non-foil on the other. And so we've got the Romping Club, the 2 claws, and then you'll see on the back here, we've got Kaio and the claws in non-foil, just because these were not printed in the opposite. Reiner was only in non-foil there. And so essentially, kind of when you get into the pitch colors, it's really nice organized this way. I've got all the foils on the front, and then I've got the non-foils, and I actually collect play sets of them, which makes it extremely hard. I'm an OCD collector, and I know a lot of people just collect kind of one of each. Hopefully the lighting on this is okay. I'm gonna see if I can just change this, maybe make that a little bit better. So anyways, we kind of go through. I don't need to kind of bore you with the details of commons and rares, but I like to have all the cards available, and this way they're nice and easily accessible, and the presentation is nice. I like to, go through these once in a while. The Crucible of War introduced obviously some new characters, some new heroes. And you've got the rainbow foil versions of some of these weapons that were really hard to get in cold foil originally. One of these was the promo, and then Crucible of War was so hard to get. The boxes were so expensive at the time that when Unlimited came out, it was great for people to collect the rainbow foils. I really like the fact that Crucible of War was the first expansion set, and only covered the 8 classes, as well as merchant, I guess, so 9. But you start to see it's impossible to keep up with that in today's Fab 3.0. There's just too many classes, and expansion sets don't exist anymore. Now they have the expansion slot, but back when Crucible was out, like it added so much extra to the card pool. You had some really good cards that were in this set. So we're going to get into the Majestics in a second here. I'm just going to kind of whip through just to kind of show you this. So this, for some reason, I guess I got a Data Doll rainbow foil I need to get. I think that's the only one I'm missing, and I think I actually have it somewhere else. So we're going to get to that in the other binder. I have another copy. Some of these rainbow foil equipment and the heroes, I've actually got doubled down, and I'll show you why. So basically, the Rune Chants, those are pretty cool. And the presentation of this, when there's gaps, it doesn't necessarily mean I'm missing anything. It's just how I tried to organize this stuff to make it look good in the binders. Talishar, and then we've got the cash-ins, which have become pretty valuable because they weren't reprinted. And then kind of all the foil tokens as well. I tried to keep 3 of those, even though you don't only really need 1, but the cracked baubles are really hard to get in first edition. So that's the Crucible of War Unlimited. I put the non-Majestics, non-legendaries into this binder, and then what I actually do is You just got to bear with me. This binder's got WTR and ARC in it. This is all my Majestics from those 2 unlimited sets. And then when I get into Crucible of War, essentially what I've got here is I try to keep these from, instead of putting all of the equipment and heroes across and then screwing up the space, try to keep them in a nice fashion. So I've got the hero and the club, the 2 claws, non-foil and the rainbow foil skullhorn, and then we've got non-foil and foil versions of the Majestics. And so I kind of do that all the way through. And what's nice about going through this is certain cards like Arc Smash was not reprinted. So these have actually come up a little bit. They used to be only like $1 each or something, but as Crucible of War becomes harder and harder to get, having this complete play set is nice to feel good about any spiking cards. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I've already got them all. So you saw the previous binder, I had the equipment for the rares, and I've got a secondary set just so that I can put it in this presentation because I like having those with the Majestics. Yeah, so basically this binder will have all of Unlimited, and I should actually note, where is it? Oh, back here I've got, I think it was after WTR. Yeah, I've got all the, so this binder also has my unlimited WTR and ARC, so I've got all the legendaries and the fables from those sets, and then I've got the two legendaries for Crucible of War here. I've got a rainbow foil, actually. I've got a rainbow foil as well that I will get to and show you, but I'm just gonna kind of go back through here. So yeah, I would go finish going through the unlimited. Again, foil and the non-foil of the Courage. There's that data doll that I was looking for. I think, oh no, I have the Cavdane there. Magnetic Shockwave was another one that was not reprinted. I think Feigned Death or Poison the Tips, one of those wasn't reprinted, and then Rattlebones was not reprinted. So, and Runeblood Barrier, actually no, that was reprinted. It was Gaze the Ages and Aetherize, I don't think were reprinted. And neither was Snag. So those are good ones to have and to keep. And then I've just got a few extra loose pages here. But so essentially that's the unlimited. And then what I've also done is I've put a binder together, and I've done this for Alpha and Arc first, as well as Crew. Normally I put the non-foils and the rainbow foils of all the commons and rares just in one of those 3-ring binders for all the other sets, but for the first 3 sets I've also got them in this just because of how special they are, and I think in the long term these will actually become pretty good to have collector items. So this is all non-foil. This is Crucible First Edition. You can see the little circle on them. So I've got pretty much all the heroes and the equipment here. The reason I have these kind of the way they are is this binder is jammed right to the end, so I didn't have enough space to properly space these out, but I wanted to get them all into one binder. So you kind of see all the heroes, all the weapons and armor pieces, Perch Grapplers, Visitronics, Gambler's Gloves, Blood Sheath, and then we get into the Majestics and then the rares and commons for each class. So we've got Brute, Beast Within, Massacre, etc. All the commons, and I like to do this. I like this visual representation of the playset for each one. So you kind of go through, and I'll tell you, these were not easy to get complete playsets of this stuff, especially when I wasn't around to open mountains and mountains of boxes. I think I've opened 1 or 2 Crucible of War boxes in my life for first printing. But you know, bought a lot of singles, and you know, had to do a lot of scouring different websites and different news groups to get them all, bulletin boards or whatever on Discord and that sort of thing. So you see how this goes right to the end. That's why I couldn't put the heroes and equipment. So that's the non-foils. When you get to the rainbow foil, by the way, these Vault X binders are really nice. I like these. And these are the 4x3s. So this would be the foil binder. Now, when we get into this foil binder, I don't have the cold foils in here. I do for some other sets. But I will kind of show you. You know, I've got my skull horn. I've got my 2 mandible claws. So those are the brute cold foils that would actually be in here. And then I've got 3 Beast Withins, Massacre, Arc Smash. These rainbow foil rare heroes are actually short printed. I believe there's under 1,000 of those. If you don't believe me, you can go on the website and look. They are short printed, and the rare pull rate for foil, and you do some calculations, it comes to under 1,000, I believe. So what's really cool here is, again, first edition, all the foil. I've got the unlimiteds to play with, or these if I want. I usually play with the unlimited ones, or I'll play with non-foil first edition normally. I like to play with the first edition ones, but I'm not a big fan of playing with the foils. So you know, we've got all these are gorgeous, this set. You get to the Seismic Surge. I've got 3 of that token. For whatever reason, I decided to grab 3. There's the heroes. We'll go back to Guardian for a second. I just want to show you guys the cold foils. So there was the Sledge and the Crater Fist. I don't know how adjusted the camera is, but we've got those. And then we get into the Ninja. I believe Ninja's next. So the Ninja actually has quite a few cold foils. We got a Kodachi, Edge of Autumn, 2 Zephyr Needles, which are finally getting played, and Breeze Rider Boots. Breeze Rider Boots I pulled in a box, actually. That was a big hit at the time. Some of those Majestic cold foils, I remember them being very, very pricey when I started collecting. Rest of the Ninja, Zen State tokens, these are short printed. Kasai is short printed. When we get into the Warrior cold foils, we have 2 Sabers and the Courage, the Twinning Blades, and so Twinning Blades I have. Oh, I've also got that Rainbow Foil Shard is here, the one that was not in the other binder. I've got 2 of the Altark Twinning Blades. God, this camera lighting is horrible. Looking for 1 more. Once I get that, that's the last card I need to have a master playset of Crucible of War first edition. Got everything else here. These are all the foils. Get into Mechanologist, and then we've got the Plasma Barrel Shot and the Vizier Tronic. Again, 1 or both of those are short printed. Got all the mech cards, and then when we get to Ranger, we've got the Redliner and Perch Grapplers. We've got the Remorseless. These were a pain in the ass to get. Even some of these rare ones were very difficult to find. I was scouring a lot of sites and buying singles left, right, and center wherever I could find them. Rune Blade. We've got the Reaping Blade and the Bloodsheath Scaletta. I remember this. I think that was $800 at one point. Rattlebones, Dread Triptych. Should be interesting to see what happens with Rune Blade come the next set. Mauvern Skies, those were really sought after before. I don't know if they still are, but before Unlimited was printed, those were quite hard to find. And then I do have quite a few rune chants. I'll get to those and I'll show you some of the extra stuff later. And then Wizard, we've got Aether Conduit, and this has got to be one of my favorite cards in the game. The look of it, I don't play Wizard, but if I did, this would probably be like my most coveted card. I want to start playing with a Wizard, but I don't play enough. But this does not do it justice, the cold foil. And then we get to, I think it's, yeah, that's, so then we get into the generics. We got the Gambler's Gloves and Talishar. And then we've also got, this goes right to the end here. I've only got one of the cracked baubles, but really it's not really part of a play set, I guess. And I've got another copper that's in my play tokens. So I'd like to get another one of those. And then I've got here the Legendary and the Fable. So I've got the Shard and I've got the Cheyenne. And this was really monumental getting these into the collection. I thought it was really good. I do have a tunic as well. I actually have a few tunics. I'll show you that in a second here. I am just going to pause this and grab some other stuff. Okay, so I am back and I have a stack of some other stuff. So this is the tunic. I've actually got 3 of them here. These are the Crew First Edition. You can see the logo there. So fun fact, the very first fab card I ever bought was a spring tunic from Crucible First Edition. Got me into the game. And at the time, obviously there was only WTR Unlimited was the first print run, I think, was kind of like sold out and they were expensive. And I remember thinking at the time, they hadn't announced Crucible Unlimited yet. And me coming into the game was like, oh, you know what? I bet they don't do an unlimited version. So these Crucible of War ones will be worth money because they will be the only non-foil spring tunic, which joke's on me if you guys flash forward, but I still believe there's only 1,825 or something of these, and so I think in the long run this will still be a good collector's piece to have, and so it is one of the most iconic cards in the game. When I do my cards now, I've started putting these red top loaders around rainbow foils just because my eyes are not the greatest. I don't want to miss something when I'm doing a trade or buying and selling or something. I want to make sure that I always know what's red is rainbow foil, and then I've got these blue ones for cold foils. So you'll see some of those. But I actually decided about 2 years ago, I just started buying, when I could, rainbow foil Majestics from Crew because Alpha and Arc ones are so expensive. So these are just some of the extra ones I've accumulated. So, you know, 4 Massacres, some Arc Smash. I kind of went a little nutty on Arc Smash because I'm a brute player and this was the cheapest one at the time, but I've got quite a few of them. And then you kind of get into some of these other ones. So you've got Mangles, which is kind of a cool card. I hope someday it gets good play. Righteous Cleansing, and then Stamp Authority, Fine Center, Flood of Force, Heron's Flight. Don't know if Heron's Flight will ever be good, but hey, I got a bunch of them. Twinning Blade, these are pretty cool. These are all first ed. My Unlimited's in a different binder. Unified Decree, Spoils of War. I got two extra play sets of those. I think those are going to do well in time as well. Magnetic Shockwave, just have 1 extra of those. A lot of these Absorption Domes as well. Plasma Purifier, some Poison the Tips. Feign Death, Dread Triptych, Rattlebones, Rune Blood Barrier, Aetherize, a few Snags. Don't have any extra Cokes or Gorganian Tomes, but it's okay. It's okay. Got a lot of these extra ones. And I think, I can't remember how many, I think there's about 16 to 1700 of each of these Rainbow Foil Majestics. So my thinking was that there's only going to be like, you know, maybe 600 play sets out there. And I believe as the game grows and continues to get players, and you know, when we get to like 25,000 worldwide players, if even 5,000 of them are people who like to have complete play sets or collect the early editions, then there's going to be a lot of demand for those. And my goal is to eventually use these to help fund future sets and trade for them. I've also got some extra cold foils here, so these are always nice to look at. I've got some claws, some mandible claws here, Crater Fist, 2 of those, a few Edge of Autumns, Centauri Saber, Plasma Barrel Shot, Visiertronic, a few Blood Sheath, some Aether Conduits, and an extra shard. And so essentially that is pretty much my Crucible of War collection. I still have some more non-foil Majestics and loads of like extra commons and rares and stuff, but you know, when we start seeing all these videos, it's, you know, time to talk about Flesh and Blood and the collectability. I think that there's a lot of people who play the game that don't collect. I think there's a lot of people that collect that don't play. I think there's a lot of people that do both. I don't get to play a lot. I'm more of a collector, but I really see the benefit in, like, I see how good the game is. I see how fun it is. When I do get to play, it's a great time. And I think that people who weren't in early on are eventually going to want pieces from WTR, ARC, or Crew, and depending on what cards are their favorites, that's probably where they'll gravitate towards. And I think Crew's got a lot of staples, and I think that it's, I still think it's being slept on right now, and I think that, I know there's a lot of good cards from the new sets and so forth, but I think that this set, even in Unlimited, is a really good one to add to your collection if you don't have it. And yeah, so thanks for looking at this video and watching, and feel free to send me a message if you want, or comment on the video if you want. But again, I'm just really happy to support the game and the community, and you know, everyone have a good time with whatever floats your boat with this game. Thanks.